Anderson Roofing and Contracting is your commercial, multifamily, and residential partners in construction, maintenance, and repair in Texas. Based in Flower Mound for more than 20 years, Anderson Roofing and Contracting is family-owned and operated, and their reputation means everything to them. They're licensed and insured, and they stand behind every project they're a part of. That's why they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they've been voted the best roofer in the Best of Denton County 7 times. Request your free inspection and estimate today at AndersonRoofsTexas.com. That's Anderson, ROOFS, Texas.com.
Strittmatter Plumbing, Heating, and AC is your number one choice for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing repairs in the Denton County area. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, Strittmatters is proud to support these high school athletes because giving back to their community is at the heart of everything they do. They stand behind their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Strittmatters offers free second opinions and no cost estimates, and 7 to 8 is the same great rate 7 days a week. No overtime charges ever. When it matters most, call Strittmatters. Online at strittmatters.com.
Thinking of buying or selling your home? Lisa Morris and Shannon Piper with the Cloud Realty team have been serving the DFW area for over 15 years. They specialize in residential buying, residential selling, and work with investors all over the Metroplex. Call them today at 469-300-1109 or go to txcloudrealty.com and check out their 5-star reviews. Contact Lisa and Shannon today to find your next dream home.
Rapid Med Urgent Care Center in Highland Village provides Southern Denton County families with state-of-the-art emergency medical care right in your neighborhood. From checkups to broken bones, school vaccinations, sports physicals, and more, you can count on Rapid Med for all of your medical needs. Rapid Med is proud to provide the latest in concussion management through the IMPACT program in partnership with the Texas Health Sports Network. Rapid Med Urgent Care Center is dedicated to providing you with quality care quickly. Visit rapidmed.com.
Thanks to the Jaguar Booster Club for bringing this show to you each and every week during the season. Visit and shop local with our sponsors, Anderson Roofing, Rapid Med, Strittmatter Heating, Plumbing, and Air, along with Cloud Realty. Well, I'm pleased to be joined once again by head coach Coach Basil. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, John. How you doing?
Man, excellent. Like we've talked, we got cool, crisp weather again. And I've already peeked ahead for game night on Friday. It's going to be a high of 60, but beautiful sunny weather. And it is definitely fall is in the air. And I know you're prepping to get ready for a big game against Hebron on the road. But before we jump into that one, let's talk a little bit about this game last week versus Marcus. You knew going in it was going to be one of the biggest tests of the season. A very talented Garrett Nussmeier had a big night, going over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. We were just talking, he had just made plays out of nothing, much like a Johnny Manziel type quarterback. And even though you were able to put some pressure on him, he was able to scramble and just had a big night, and tough to hold Marcus down when Garrett Nussmeier has a big night.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player, and we knew that going in. Obviously, returning offensive player of the year in our district, one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and saw some things on film that you get 3 games in, and when a team has an offense like that, they're not going to change a whole lot of what they do. And we go in, we had a good plan for them. You got to mix up some different pressures and all that, but you got to do some things to, really try to keep them off balance. And, coverage wise, we had guys where they needed to be, but the thing that he does better than anybody I've ever seen is extend plays. And, we've got a good defensive line. We've got some good pressure packages, but, and we were able to get to him some. We got some shots on him, got a few sacks. But when, he is just very, very elusive and getting out some things and able to make some throws with different arm angles and throwing on the run and across his body and just putting the ball where it needs to be. There are several where we're in pretty good position, and they make some good throwing catches where a guy just gets one foot in, a toe in and outstretched. And he's got some very talented receivers they throw to. And, it's one of those things where you got to play a near perfect game in all phases. And we play good at times, but just to be able to slow down an offense like that, you gotta really have some takeaways and get some big stops. And we did at time a big interception there in third quarter. Had some third down, fourth down stops. We're able to get the ball back. But he's an outstanding player. I've been fortunate in my career of facing some guys like Chase Daniel and Greg McElroy and Rhett Bomar. some guys that went on to play at a very, very high level, and he may be one of the best ones that got a chance to go again. So, really, really respect the job that Coach Atkinson has done over there. That team's playing with a lot of confidence, and, we got to really look at some things and continue to understand what we need to do to get better from week in and week out.
Well, Coach, what are the takeaways from this game that will help the Jags, get better as we dig into the heart of district play starting Friday night?
Well, when district starts, it's a different level. You gotta really hit that next gear as a team. And when you open up first district game with the defending district champion and a quality team, big rivalry game, the thing you got to understand is the margin for error is very thin. When you play good teams, there's not a whole lot of margin of error that you can afford to miss. And that goes from how you prepare in practice, how you prepare when you're at home, have a chance to watch extra film. And our guys have done that. I'm not saying that we haven't done those things. Our guys have really done a good job. We've said it before. We got a lot of new guys that play in their first year of varsity football, and that's part of the learning experience. You got to learn that, we obviously didn't like the taste we had in our mouths after the game and still don't. And I'm excited to get back out and practice tomorrow because we brought our kids up on Saturday. They all showed up to watch film, and you could tell that, that they had gone through something that is going to make them better, really feel like. So that's just a thing I think you realize is that you gotta really play in all three phases of the games: offense, defense, special teams. Defensively, we gave up some things, but then, there's things like field position, which you set up in your return games. There's things like, no undisciplined penalties where you can't cost yourself. There's a lot of things like that our guys got to understand that when, in practice, when we talk about where our areas of focus needs to be and the reps that we need to get, then they understand why we are so passionate about addressing those things with them. So I think you really see that in a game like this where you realize that, we got to take some steps and get better in those areas.
Coach, I know you take pride in protecting the ball, and, turnovers play a role in any game. Unfortunately, Friday against Marcus, you had several turnovers that really played a big role in the final outcome, gave Marcus a couple quick scores. As you know, you just can't give a tough opponent like Marcus those quick scores off turnovers. The Jags will learn from film and improve on this. What are some things you talk about in film session? It's just hard to teach and talk about turnovers, something that, no player wants to do. But what are some of the things that you work on, really more the mental side of the game?
Well, one of the things that we continue to really are on a quest to find some answers for is that both of those turnovers that resulted in points came on third down, third and longs, and so we got to be more efficient on the early downs, first down, second down. We can't afford to put ourselves in a whole lot of third and longs because now you're the defense can pin their ears back and get pressure. They can sit on routes. They can say, obviously, you start to get some tendencies put together, and of course we always got to have some compliments to some things that so teams don't get to be. We self scout a lot, but that's the thing. Is just being more efficient on early down, so we don't put ourselves in third and long situations. Really taking care of the football. We had a fumble, just anticipating when you're going to take a hit, getting the ball high and tight, keeping it all close to your body. Those things really are just backbreakers, and they don't just take away momentum, but it really those when you turn the ball over and it's a pick six or a scoop and score or something like that, then that's really it's almost like that's a 14-point score, because it's
yes.
It's one of those things where you lose some momentum, the other team gets excited about it. We've got to continue to reinforce those things in practice to where whether it's going against an attack team, whether it's going up through individual, we got to talk about ball security. We got to talk about making good decisions on our throws and catches. We got to continue to work the timing of our receiver routes and when the ball comes out, so that replicates game speed.
Well, Coach, let's turn our attention to the game this week on the road at Hebron. Coach Basil, the only coach in school history, I think this is his 20th season at Hebron, always has a competitive program. Be another tough one on the road. How do you prepare for Hebron this week?
Well, yeah, Coach Basil, he's done a great job there. Very well respected in the area. Always has his kids playing hard. They've got a culture that they believe in, and they've got a young team this year, but they still have a lot of consistencies with what we've seen for the foundation of the program. They're going to play tough defense. They're going to run the football. They're going to be sound on special teams. Coming in and seeing film on them, a lot of those same things. They've got a run package that presents some challenges, and we've got to do a good job defending that. The thing where when we played them pretty well in the past, we've done a good job against the run game. We get them in second longs, third and longs. We got to continue to do that. You got to be good on first down against those guys on defense, and defensively, they have a scheme. They are really aggressive, and so you've got to kind of get them back on their heels. You got to get them guessing a little bit. You can't let them just pin their heels back and come straight at you. So those are some things traditionally when you play a talented Hebron team, you got to be able to do.
Hebron opened up with another solid Denton Geyer team with a loss. But have won their last two consecutively over Northwest Eaton and Plano East. They'll come into this game with some momentum. One thing that I saw in doing a little research for this game, Coach, is their defensive line's a bit smaller than what you faced all year, just averaging about 215, 220 pounds each. You have to like the way you match up to their defensive line this week.
Well, yeah, they've graduated. They had a pretty heavy on graduation last year on their defensive side of the ball. Some new defensive linemen, but one thing they do is that they play hard and they're aggressive. They do some things where they move around and fit some secondary guys in the run fit where you don't always know where they're coming from. So we've got to be ready for that. From a size standpoint, we have faced some pretty good D lines, and so hopefully from a physical standpoint, you got some matchups that are going to help you out a little bit, especially being able to run the football. But we're getting better and better each week with those guys, and it's we're still seeing some things that they're starting to figure out and getting the right recipe of guys that are in there and what they're able to do well and the formula for being able to run the ball. But that's the thing with Hebron is that, they are a little bit smaller this year on the defensive line, but they're quick, they're aggressive, and they do some good things in terms of getting their linebackers and secondary involved, and you don't always know where they're coming from. So we got to be prepared for that. You
mentioned Hebron has some athletes. One that really comes to mind, their athletic quarterback, Jacob Bayunif. What will your defense need to do to slow down his run-pass option? He really looks for that run, but he's a pretty good scrambling passer as well.
Yeah, well, they do some things in the run game that you got to be sound against. With it just goes back to good old option football where you've got to take care of your assignments. You can't always just assume if you're not blocked and take the bait on some of the things that the running back does, because the quarterback will pull it or they'll have a design run for them. So we really got to be sound and play assignment football and control your gaps. When a team is effective at running football and set up some of their play action stuff, and that's hard to defend. But if we can get them second long, third and long, and just make them more of a drop back passer, that's what we feel we've got to be able to make them do. You've got the game plan set. What will we need to be talking about next week
for a Jaguar victory over the Hebron Hawks?
Well, we've got to get back to pinning our ears back on defense and playing aggressive and flying around. When you give up a lot of points, we got a lot of kids that have a lot of pride and take a lot of pride in the way we do things. So I think it's just, getting back to playing the style of football with some effort and enthusiasm that we take very seriously. And again, that was, those things aren't missing. You just played a good football team last week that took that away, pretty early on, and you got to get that back. We got to have a good week of practice and get some, and get off to a fast start next week, because the quicker you get off the fast start and get points on the board and get some stops, and that gets your confidence back, gets your energy level going. So we've got to come out. We're going to talk to them about. We got to go win the first quarter. We got to come out, and our goal is a +7 point differential in the first quarter. So whether we're up 7-0, 10-3, 14-7, whatever that may be, we got to get on a fast start and develop some confidence. And we'll do that. We're gonna come out and have a great week of practice and play well. The recipe for us is always be able to establish the run game, stop the run, and create some turnovers and be sound on special teams. And if we can do that, then we're gonna give ourselves a good chance.
I like that approach. Win each play, win each series, and win the quarter, +7 each quarter, you come out with a W. Well, Coach, you and your staff do a great job developing players. It's what it's all about, next man up. Let's transition to sub-varsity for a minute. Can you share with Jag Nation that's tuned in right now, what's going on with the freshmen and the JV teams?
Well, we take a lot of pride in the job that we do developing those guys, and we're proud of the start that all those teams have gotten off. We're fortunate to be able to have 2 freshman teams, 2 JV teams. The more opportunity those guys have to play, the better, and that's what we feel is obviously we want to win every game that we play, but the opportunity to play gives you a chance to learn and grow and get better. And the more kids are able to do that, the better. I can go on and on about whether it's this year or last year. Every year I've been here, we've had seniors in our program that started out at some point in their freshman level, and they weren't necessarily a star in their middle school team. They weren't necessarily a star at the freshman level. Sometimes they're just guys that you go back and look back and you realize, man, these guys, they're guys that showed up every day. They worked hard. They bought into what we're doing in the weight room. They bought into what we're doing in practice and practice hard every day. And before you know it, they're out on the field at the varsity level, and they're a productive guy for us. And we've got some good talent in the lower levels. Our freshman teams, our JV teams have had some really good success early on. And one thing we believe in is we want to train them for what they're going to be doing in the next few years. So they run our varsity offense, the foundation of our offense, defense, and special teams philosophy. That's what they all do. And, sometimes we'll play teams and they come out and maybe at the varsity level, they're throwing the ball all around, but then they come out and they're running something different, at the younger levels. Well, we believe in, getting good at what we do. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. But this is really a time of the year you really start to see some of those things clicking. They're really not doing anything new from what they've done over the summer, from learning some of our concepts, and you see them start to figure some of those things out. And of course, we take a lot of pride in what we do in the weight room. We believe in that during the season. Our weight room routine during the season is not a maintenance routine. We're still trying to push some numbers and get stronger during the season. And a lot of times you see that paying off for a freshman, sometimes not until the spring of his sophomore year. But that's one thing that I really can see, especially in my 5th year here now, seeing kids that are seniors that I remember when they were my first year here, they were 8th graders coming up. And it's really fun to see the progress that those kids have made, and just not just the quality of football player, but the quality of young man that they're able to grow up and become in our program.
Well, Coach, you definitely have the numbers. As they say back in Kentucky, your stable is full of great talent. And Well, fans, that is another segment of the Coach Brian Basil Show right here on Jag Nation Football. For John Piper, I'd like to thank Coach Basil for joining me each and every week. Coach, good luck this week, and go Jaguars.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate you having me.